Major SBA rule changes happening. On this episode, we're going to dive into the rule changes for franchise financing and what you must know, because these are being implemented in June. And I'm going to dive into what that means if you're looking to finance a franchise. This is very important, whether you're a franchisor or a potential franchise owner. It's very important to understand. Franchise Directory is coming back, and I'm going to give you some information on that and more in this episode. Let's get started. So what is the SBA Franchise Directory? It's a centralized list of franchise brands deemed eligible for SBA financing, streamlining loan processing by eliminating the need for individual franchise agreements. Eligibility. Franchise brands must meet SBA's affiliation and eligibility criteria to be listed, ensuring they allow sufficient autonomy for franchisees. Now it's being reinstated, this directory. It hasn't been really being used since 2023, although it has been. We're going to dive into that more. But after being discontinued in 2023, the SBA announced the reintroduction of the franchise directory effective June 1st, 2025 under SOP 50.10.8. Okay, so let's unpack this. What does this mean? We used to use a directory, and the franchise had to be listed on there as an approved franchise. Doesn't mean the franchise is a good franchise. It means it's approved for finance. They discontinued that in 2023. And then everybody was using their own discretion. People would look at the banks would look at the FDD and approve it or not, or do however they wanted to. Some banks, some major banks would say, look, it either needs to be listed on the directory, the old directory, or they have to have a Fran data score of X and we'll do the deal. And they have to have at least 10 units open. And that was coming from one of the biggest franchise financing SBA lenders out there. Banks and non-bank SBA lenders all had different ways of evaluating this. But that's all in the past now, because starting June 1st, if you're a franchise or a business opportunity that wants their candidates to be able to invest into their franchise and be able to utilize SBA financing, you must be approved and on that list in the directory going forward. How do you get listed if you're a franchisor? Franchisors must provide the franchise disclosure document, franchise agreement, and assigned SBA franchisor certification. There's a whole submission process. It looks like the timeline's 14 to 21 days to be listed on it. The point is, if you're looking to buy a franchise, understand if they're on the directory, if they're not. Some of the franchisors and business opportunities don't even know this yet. So there's going to be a lot of turmoil. So whenever you're evaluating a franchise to invest in anyway, you want to know if it's SBA financeable and if there's any caveats that go along with it, right? Because part of your building your buy box in the franchise space is maybe being able to leverage. A lot of us aren't coming in with all cash unless we're doing a rollover or we have a bunch of money in the bank. We want to tap into business ownership and utilize the SBA program because it's a fantastic program. They're tightening up. They're also tightening up on credit scoring. We use something called for deals under $500,000, we generally use something called the SBSS credit scoring model, which was created by FICO for SBA loans. We had a scoring model where you needed at least a 155. That's also changed. You have to have a 165 or better. You have to score out. Now, I do work with some community advantage SBA programs where they tell me, look, Beau, I don't need a credit score requirement. It just has to score out. So you could essentially have a 600 credit score and still get SBA financing. But generally, most banks say, hey, look, we're 680 or better, period. Some of them want 700 or better. So that's why you work with our team and we help navigate the franchise financing process, because we know who is more aggressive than who. If you're looking for 90% of total cost finance, or if 80 is okay, if you want working capital, if you want additional working capital, we have banks that will do revolving line of credit on top of the working capital, and also a bank that will underwrite your particular franchise you're trying to invest in and get you enough working capital and make the deal advantageous for you. Not all banks are created equal. Not all SBA lenders are created equal. Go to bookwithbeau.com. We'd be happy to meet with you and help you get your franchise financed and give you some insight. And we also have a team that can help you find your ideal franchise as well, whether it's a startup or a resale. We have, I think, over 300 resale listings at this time in our marketplace. So anyway, happy to help you. Go to bookwithbeau.com. Thanks.
Meet Beau Eckstein, the driving force behind Business Ownership Coach, unlocking the path to business ownership. Visit www.businessownershipcoach.com. Thrive with Business Ownership Coach.
Hey guys, Beau Eckstein here. If you enjoyed what you saw, please subscribe to this channel. We talk all things financing. I've been in the lending industry for over 20 years, and I'm happy to answer your questions and provide great content.